Now.
Now, yeah. Welcome everybody. I'm so grateful. Today I'm here with Susanna Mittermeier and we are gonna discuss the topic of relationships. How cool. Yeah, really. Awesome. I mean, this is one of the most crazy areas, I think, in the world, relationships. Like I noticed like when I entered this relationship, like I went crazy in so many ways. So I'm so cool that you, Susanna, and like actually Access also is offering the tools where we can actually change this insanity and create relationship that actually works for us. And I'm even more grateful and happy that you're coming to Slovenia, where you are gonna facilitate one day class about this topic and empower all of us how we can have more ease and create relationships with our partners, family members, co-workers, friends, kids, children, parents that will work for us. So is this even possible, Susanna?
I mean, you got to be truly willing to stick out and like be different if you are, crazy enough to have ease with relationships. And it's really like I say crazy enough to have ease with relationships because it's so normal to struggle. And it's like how much time, like you guys listening, how much energy and time are you using to be upset about other people? Being upset about people's stupidity, whether it's people out there in the world, whatever it's going on right now in the world, or your partner, or being upset about your children, or, it's like that is such a normal way of functioning. And it's not wrong. It's like, we're not wrong for being upset or having dramatic relationships. It's just at some point, we can all ask ourselves, is this really how we would like to use our energies? And one of the things that I, for me personally, have become more aware of in the past, let's say 1 or 2 weeks, there's been an awareness emerging for me of how am I using my energy? And how would I like to use my energy? I don't know if you guys can hear the thunderstorm, but it's like a perfect timing. It's like, how would I really like to use my potency, and being more present with people, like every area, but also with people and relationships and people around me, like my own family, my parents, like, rather than reacting or being upset and going, oh my God, is that annoying? That could take like so much time of the day, so much of your creativity, that if you make a different choice, it's like, how else can you use that energy to create your life, to create money, to create business, to create your future? And that's something that I personally have been looking at, for me. How am I using my energy? How would I like to use my energy? And in regards to relationships, if you really want to have ease with relationships, if you really want to create nurturing relationships, you have to be willing to be so different. Because again, it's normal to have struggles, it's normal to have it be difficult. So, how different would you have to be willing to be to have ease with relationships? And I remember many years ago, um, I was a happy single. I loved being by myself. And I had a conversation with Gary Douglas, and I said to him, "Hey, I love what you're creating with Dane, and I love like the creativity you guys have, and the expansive relationship. How did you create that? Like, how did you get to have something like this in your life? I would love that. I I might not want to have a relationship, like, a normal relationship. I love being single, but I would love to have like something creative with people." And so I asked him, how do you do that? How did you create that relationship with Dane? And he's like, um, he said, you have to be willing to be alone. And I'm like, okay, yes. And I said, yeah, I'm willing to be alone. And then he said, yeah, but you have to be willing to be alone. And like that's such a Gary way of answering. You're like, hey, what does that mean? Huh? And, and so, how he doesn't give you answers. He's like, okay, so know what you know. So I was being with that, and I was looking at all the ways where I was kind of like having the point of view that in order to be really successful, I kind of like in a way would need someone to create with to be really, really successful. You know what I mean? Like, like on the one hand, being willing to be alone because I was happy being single. But then on the other hand, like if I really want to be successful and have
Yeah.
fun and whatever, it's like having, like someone.
Being willing to receive the contribution that people
Yeah.
can be to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that
Yeah.
was the next step. I wasn't there. I wasn't there
Mhm.
yet. I was more like, yeah, but if I really want to be successful, I need like someone to create with me, or you know what I mean? And so
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, that was the point of view I had that didn't really allow me to create something expansive because I still had the point of view of, kind of like needing someone. So
Mhm.
I pot and pocked that. I, an interesting point of view. I have this point of view. And I really worked at, okay, am I really willing to be alone? So, and that, and I made a different choice in my life of, okay, willing to be alone. And it took me a while to get that, to really embrace that, because we're not taught. We're not taught to, hey, you're powerful. You don't need anyone. And then when I got over that, I went to where you were before, like, what could I receive? Like, what
Mhm.
nurturing am I really willing to receive? And I became really clear for myself of what would I like to receive? What would be really nurturing for me in my life? What energies? And I asked for that. And then I let it go. And a year later, Jürgen, my partner now, he showed up. And I'm like, universe, please come on, not a man. Like, I wouldn't, I had a point of view of how those energies would show up, like in form of business partners and, colleagues and, creation, whatever. But then I'm like, oh no, universe, please not in that way. And how it always shows up different than we think it does. And it did. And it was greater than I could imagine. And that journey is a story for another time. But it's like it was the beginning of truly choosing something that works for me in a way I would have never imagined beyond any story of needing something or someone. And it's wonderful. It's deliberating, it's freeing, it's just wow, what else is possible?
Wow, really, I just got goosebumps when you were like talking about that. So how cool. And what I also noticed from your talk, it's like what maybe we could invite people to. It's like, and what I also noticed with myself, it's like I like subconsciously was functioning a lot of the time like trying to change people. Like my ultimate transactional reality was like make everybody happy, like like change them, give them advices, like worry about them, like be responsible for them. Like it's like, but when we really like the only one that we can change and the only relationship we can change is with ourselves. So then all other relationships started changing and we really can have more ease. So it's like, yeah, we are actually co-creating all those relationships and all those dramas, what you have before said, like in the beginning, insanity is like everything. So it's so cool when we are willing to look at it and like dive deeper into that topic, how this can affect like really every single relationship we have, including relationship with us. So
That's
yeah.
so true because we always think it's about that person or
Mm-hmm.
that group of people, and we put it outside, and we make it all about relating to someone or being liked or
Mm-hmm.
having someone, or I'm not having someone. But then it's like you say, it's actually about, it's not about, oh, my relationships as this is some extra part of your life. It's about your whole life, like
Mm-hmm.
everything. And
Mm-hmm.
the moment where it's not about relating, the need of relating all the time, and it moves towards you being you in all times, no matter, like, how other people relate to you or not. You have a freedom that is not normal, but this is not
Mhm.
something we've been taught. Like, maybe
Mhm.
a few of us have had the fortune to being taught, hey, it's not, life is not about relating, life is about relating, but living is about being. That's a big
Mhm.
difference. If you only have a life,
Mhm.
you make it about relating to other people, but if you're truly living, you it's about being. And that's it. Like, it's not even, you can't get it in your head. It's like when you wake up in the morning, how often do people think about other people? Like, what do people think of me? Is it okay for me to be that? Am I being too much? All of these thoughts about it are about relating rather than
Mhm.
you being, and you choosing that freedom of being. And then you can add people and create wonderful things together, whether if it's your kids or your family or your partner, or you would like to have a relationship. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's so phenomenal. And it's like a totally new age, a new
Yeah.
reality. Like, yeah, so how cool. I'm so looking forward for this education also from you. So maybe if you can tell um, a little bit more about this one day class or like pragmatic
Yeah.
psychology. People are asking me like,
Yeah.
so yeah, but we basically give a taster already. Like, yeah. So,
So it's like, pragmatic people are asking, what does pragmatic mean? Pragmatic means doing what works. It's rather than
mhm,
dramatic, you can be and be all about, oh my God, I'm so wrong and this is not working. Like, finding ways to make things work. And
mhm,
with this one day class, that's going to be on the 17th of July, where we're going to dive into and explore how can I create a relationship that works with me, with someone else, with my children, with my family, like tutto completi, everything. It's a lot of like, who would you like to be in the world, and becoming clear with that, and then also tips and tricks how to have ease with your children, have ease with your partner, not making yourself smaller. Like, there's so many amazing, potent people out there, but then when they come together with their family or their partner, they're like, they're plagiarizing their partner's reality rather than truly being them. And then they say, yeah, I would like to be successful in business. Yes, I would like to make a lot of money, but I have this person in my life. I have these children. I have this partner. And then they contract their potency, they contract their creativity, which is such a pity. It's like, what we're going to explore in this class is, how can you be your creative, potent you, no matter who you have in your life, no matter who is around you, because that's you creating your future, where it's not about, stopping yourself for the people you have in your life, your children, your partner, this reality, whoever it is, and truly going for creating your life. And also tips and tricks on how to deal with the people in your life and whatever questions people have.
awesome. Yeah, how cool. I'm really grateful. Yeah, it's like, it's so required. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Susanna.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you are really amazing, and I'm really, really grateful you're coming to Slovenia. So yeah, we will post the link for this one day class where you can read more and like register and meet Susanna in Slovenia. The class will be in Ljubljana, translated into Slovenian, German, Spanish.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
Spanish. Yeah, and yeah, what maybe some more languages if you require.
Yeah. And you can join online as well. This one day class, and you can bring all your questions. It's like whatever you want to know about, you know, other people, you, relationships. Let's bring so much ease, joy, and glory to your world that where you cannot even control,
Mm,
like where you are willing to give up control and micromanage your life and like truly go for what else is possible. I'm
mm,
so looking forward. Like, as you said, there's a new paradigm. There's a new possibility out there. So for those of you who go, okay, yep, it's time for me now. It's time for me to leap and to go. Welcome, and
Yeah.
bring your questions.
Bring your questions and energetically bring your whole family, partners, everybody, children, parents, so we can really create the shift for you. Because I see we use so much energy for relationship, but not for creating possibilities, but for destroying possibilities and functioning from so many patterns of destruction and so much right and wrong and judgments. So, but it's like really, what else is possible?
Like exactly, it's like we use a lot of energy for relating, but not for creating, and that's what we can change. So what else is possible, guys? Let's rock and roll. Thank you so much, Nadia, for creating this, and
thank you,
Ljubljana.
Yeah, see you in Ljubljana. How cool. Awesome. Bye guys. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you, Susanna.